You have been taught to chase, to strive, to earn, and to plead with the universe as though it were separate from you, distant, withholding, selective, and so you try harder. You script more, visualize longer, affirm louder, and still nothing seems to move. But what if the very act of trying is the signal that you believe you do not already have? What if I told you that manifestation is not a game of effort, but of assumption, that your desires do not come to test your worthiness, but to reveal your identity? You do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. The longing that stirs in you is not a summons to struggle. It is an invitation to remember. The moment you felt the desire, its fulfillment was born. Not in some distant future, but now, wrapped in the unseen, waiting for your recognition. This is not about getting something. It is about realizing that it is already yours. So today, stop trying hard to manifest. Instead, begin to rest in the knowing that what you seek is seeking you because it is already a part of you. Desire is not something foreign, random, or uncertain. It does not appear in your heart to taunt you with what you cannot have. The very fact that you can feel a true desire, deep, vivid, and alive within your imagination, is the first and most certain evidence that it is already yours. A desire is not a signal to start running after something. It is the gentle whisper from within telling you what already belongs to you in another dimension of your being. You are not desiring something into existence. You are becoming aware of what is already present for you in consciousness. All things begin in consciousness. Before anything appears in your outer world, it must be accepted as true within. The desire itself is a spiritual pregnancy, proof that something is already forming in the invisible realm. You would not have been able to feel the longing if it did not already exist as a possibility planted within your soul. You do not desire randomly. That desire came to you because you are already one with it at a level deeper than logic, deeper than sight. So often, people mistake the feeling of desire for a problem. They treat it as a void, as though it reveals something they are missing. They begin to push, to strain, to manifest it by effort and repetition, believing they must earn the outcome. But the truth is far simpler. The moment you became aware of your desire, the seed of fulfillment was sown. Trying to force it into the world only signals to the subconscious mind that you believe it is not yours yet. That is not creation. It is resistance. Desire is not an indication of lack. It is a confirmation of presence, a presence that exists beyond what your senses can currently perceive. The unseen is always more vast than the seen. When you acknowledge your desire without struggle, when you can sit with it, feel it, dwell in it, and give thanks for it as though it were already fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the state in which it must appear. This is not a technique, this is law. You are not here to create from the outside in. You are here to recognize from the inside out. You do not need to add more effort. You need to remove the belief that it is not yet yours. The moment you understand this, manifestation becomes effortless, not because you forced it to be, but because you stopped standing in the way of what was always meant to be yours. So when desire rises, do not chase it. Welcome it. Let it speak to you. Let it show you what you already hold within, and then assume its presence, not as a hope, but as a certainty, because desire is not calling you towards something you lack. It is waking you up to what has always been yours, the world you experience around you. Your circumstances, relationships, health, finances is not separate from you. It is not an independent force moving without your consent. It is a mirror, perfectly reflecting the contents of your inner state. What you see outside is what you have accepted inside, whether knowingly or unconsciously. This is not metaphorical or symbolic. It is literal. The outer world is your reflection, projected from the beliefs and assumptions you hold in consciousness. Most people live under the illusion that external events cause internal reactions. They believe that if something good happens, they will feel joy. If something bad happens, they will feel despair. But the truth is reversed. Your inner state determines what unfolds in your life. Life is not happening to you. It is responding to you. You are not the observer of the world. You are its cause. If you wake up feeling abundant, secure, and loved, even before the physical signs of those things are visible, life must begin to echo those feelings back to you. Not because you earned it by emotional effort, but because your assumption becomes the pattern the world mirrors. Conversely, if you wake up feeling anxious, unworthy, or desperate, no matter how much you desire a better reality, the mirror reflects only the state you are in, not the state you want. The mirror does not argue. It does not analyze. It only shows you what you are being. If you frown into a mirror, you will not see a smile reflected back. You do not change the reflection by pressing your hands against the glass. You change the reflection by changing your expression. So too with life. You do not change the world by wrestling with it, begging it, or forcing it. You change it by assuming a new state within and allowing the world to adjust accordingly. This is why effort so often fails and why results feel delayed, because people act from a state of lack and frustration while hoping to produce a result of abundance and joy. But the mirror cannot contradict its source. The world cannot show you what you do not first accept as true about yourself. To truly manifest change, you must become the change, not in words, but in feeling. You must feel as the person who already has, already is, already knows. Then, and only then, will the mirror comply. The outer world bends not to your wishes, but to your convictions. So instead of straining to change your reality, shift your identity. Assume the state of the one who already lives the life you desire. Feel it real and let the mirror reflect your truth, not because you forced it, but because you became it. Effort, when it comes from a place of lack, is not a tool of creation. It is a declaration of separation. It quietly affirms, I don't have it yet, so I must try harder to get it. But in truth, the more you try from that state, the more you push your desire further away. Why? Because you are reinforcing the belief that it is not yet yours. Every time you strive, push, or beg, you are telling your subconscious that the thing you want is missing, distant, or even unattainable. And the subconscious, which accepts every belief you hold as law, continues to mirror that condition back to you. Trying hard is the way of the outer world, where worth is measured in effort and results are earned through struggle. But manifestation does not obey the rules of the outer world. It obeys the laws of consciousness. It unfolds not by force but by alignment, not by action first, but by identity first. When you try hard, you are operating from the premise that you and your desire are separate. That belief alone, regardless of how many techniques you use, prevents the very thing you long to see. This is why so many people feel stuck even after hours of visualization, affirmations, and techniques. They are doing everything right on the surface, but beneath all that effort is a quiet voice saying, it's not mine yet, I have to keep trying. That internal posture is what must shift. Manifestation is not about doing more. It's about letting go of the idea that you need to do anything to receive what is already yours in the invisible. You do not create the outcome by striving toward it. You allow it by embodying the state where it already exists. Imagine a person trying desperately to fall asleep. The harder they try, the more awake they become. Why? Because sleep is not achieved through effort. It is entered through surrender. So it is with manifestation. You do not get what you want through tension. You receive it through acceptance. When you stop trying and start being, when you relax into the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled, you move into harmony with it. You are no longer reaching for something outside of you. You are recognizing what is already within you. That recognition changes everything. The moment you release the struggle, you make space for the outcome to emerge naturally, effortlessly, and in perfect time. Trying hard is the symptom of forgetfulness. It means you've forgotten who you are and what power lives within you. But when you remember, when you step into the knowing that you are already one with your desire, the need to try vanishes. In its place is quiet confidence, calm expectation, and a peace that knows all is already done. Manifestation is not a process of chasing, waiting, or hoping. It is a matter of entering into the experience inwardly before it has appeared outwardly. You do not need to see it to believe it. You need to feel it to receive it. The secret lies in your ability to feel it real, to dwell not on the absence of your desire, but on the inner reality where it already lives. This is not fantasy. It is creation in its purest form. You are not escaping reality by imagining your desire fulfilled. You are shaping reality by embodying its presence before the senses confirm it. Your senses are not the gatekeepers of truth. They merely reflect what has already taken form within consciousness. If you wait to feel satisfied, loved, wealthy, or whole until the world provides it, you are a slave to the mirror. But when you close your eyes, still your mind, and step into the version of yourself who already has what you seek, you begin to vibrate at the level of the fulfilled desire, and what matches that vibration must, by law, appear. This is the essence of living from the end. It means assuming now the emotional, mental, and spiritual state of the person who already has the result. You do not beg for it. You do not wait in quiet desperation. You walk, breathe, and exist as though it were true, because in the unseen it already is. What you claim in imagination with full belief and inner conviction will shape itself into form. That is the law of consciousness. But many people fall into the trap of imagining from a distance. They see their goal as a future hope rather than a present reality. They visualize it as something far off, something coming someday. And so it remains just that, distant. The key is not to look at your desire, but to look from it. Don't observe yourself having it. Be the one who already does. This shift is subtle, yet powerful. When you feel it real, you move from desire to possession in consciousness. And once the subconscious accepts that state as real, it begins to mold the outer world to match it. Events rearrange, people shift, opportunities arise, all aligning with the new identity you have claimed. This is not effort, it is embodiment, it is not daydream. It is assuming you must feel the tones of reality within. What would your day look like if it were already yours? How would you walk, speak, decide, and carry yourself? Let those feelings move through you now. Make them familiar. The subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined with emotion and conviction. It only accepts the dominant state you live in. So stop waiting for proof. Stop asking when. Instead, enter the state where it is already done. Feel it real, and life must respond, not because you forced it, but because you became it. You are not here to get something you don't have. You are here to remember who you truly are, the one who already possesses all that they seek. Manifestation is not about reaching outside of yourself to grab hold of something foreign. It is the inward act of identifying with the version of you who already has what you desire. The moment you assume the identity of that version, the outer world begins to comply, because it must reflect your self-concept. You don't manifest what you wish for. You manifest what you are, and what you are is not determined by your words, your effort, or even your surface-level thought. It is determined by what you accept as true of yourself. You must ask, not how do I get this, but who must I be in order for this to feel normal? Because once it feels natural, it becomes inevitable. The outer reality has no choice but to mirror the inner claim. Too many people approach manifestation with the mindset of acquisition. How can I attract this thing into my life? But this mentality only affirms that the thing is currently missing. Instead, you must begin to become the person who already lives that truth. If you desire wealth, begin to assume the consciousness of one who is already abundant. If you desire love, step into the state of being already loved, already chosen, already secure. This is not pretending. Pretending is shallow. It still holds the belief that it's not real, but assumption is different. Assumption is deeper than imagination. It is identification. It is when you stop hoping and start knowing. You shift internally and say, "This is who I am now." And that quiet, confident knowing shapes your world far more than any action or technique ever could. The world around you responds to identity. Actions do not manifest, identity does. Because your actions flow effortlessly from who you believe yourself to be. When you adopt a new identity, your habits, thoughts, energy, and decisions align without effort. You no longer need to force change. You become change. Assuming the identity of the one who already has it also dissolves impatience. There is no anxiety in someone who already possesses their desire. There is no doubt, no seeking, no grasping. There is only calm expectancy, grounded in the certainty that what is felt inwardly must appear outwardly. You begin to move through life with grace and quiet confidence, because you are no longer trying to become. You are already being. This is the great secret. You are not here to chase. You are here to claim. You are not becoming something new. You are remembering something eternal. The desire that stirred in your heart is not a call to pursue. It is a call to assume, to step into the version of you that already exists, already knows, and already holds what you once thought was missing. And once you do, the world will follow. Everything begins and ends in consciousness. There is no power outside of it, no external force deciding your fate. The circumstances you live, the people you encounter, the opportunities you attract or repel, these are all outpicturings of what you hold to be true within yourself. You are not a passive observer of reality. You are the creative cause, the operant power. What you believe to be true, consistently and emotionally, becomes the structure of your world. Most people unknowingly surrender their creative power to the world they see. They allow their senses to dictate what is real and possible. If something appears difficult, they believe it must be. If something is not yet present, they assume it is absent. But this is an inversion of truth. Your senses are not the origin of reality. They are its echo. What you experience outwardly is nothing more than a shadow of your inner convictions. Consciousness is not something you use to manifest. It is the only thing that manifests. It is not a tool. It is the source. All things arise from it. Every event, encounter, and experience is rooted in your inner state, and this inner state is made up of your dominant assumptions, what you believe, accept, and consent to be true about yourself and the world. This is why techniques, rituals, or outer actions mean little if they are not supported by a changed inner state. You can repeat affirmations all day, but if deep down you believe you are unworthy, the outer world will mirror that unworthiness, not your words, but your inner conviction. You can act confidently, but if inwardly you feel powerless, the results will align with your true belief, not your performance. To shift your life, you must shift your consciousness. You must choose to no longer identify with the old story of lack, of limitation, of delay. You must begin to inhabit a new state, even if nothing on the outside has changed yet. And this is where most falter. They want outer evidence before they commit to the inner truth. But manifestation does not work that way. You must claim it first in consciousness and persist in that state until the outer must conform. This persistence is not about effort. It is about stability, remaining faithful to the new identity, the new assumption, even when appearances tempt you to doubt. Because consciousness, not condition, is the master key. The moment you change your state, the process of external alignment begins. It may be invisible at first, but it is inevitable. You are not a victim of chance. You are not subject to fate. You are the awareness that gives life to form. Once you accept that consciousness is the only reality, you no longer need to fight circumstances. You transcend them. And from that higher knowing, you don't hope things will change. You know they must, because the only thing that ever truly needed to change was you. You do not need to struggle, to strive, or to force your way into the life you desire. What you seek is not hiding from you. It is waiting for your recognition. The truth is simple and profound. The moment you felt the desire, its fulfillment was already prepared. It is not a matter of doing more. It is a matter of becoming still enough to realize that it has always been yours. You are not here to beg reality to change. You are here to awaken to your own creative power, the knowing that your world reflects not your wishes, but your assumptions. The moment you stop trying so hard and begin to dwell in the feeling of already having, everything begins to shift. Not because you chased something down, but because you finally stopped running away from who you are. There is no separation between you and your desire. There is only your decision to accept it as done. Every time you feel it real, live from the end and assume the identity of the one who already has. You align with the only reality that matters, the one within. And from that inner certainty, the outer must obey. So stop trying to manifest from the belief that you are without. Start living from the truth that it is already yours. Let go of the effort. Let go of the waiting. Let go of the doubt. And step into the knowing, the peace, the quiet power of already being what you once hoped to become. You do not have to earn it. You only have to remember it. It was always yours, and now you finally see.